On this episode of AAPEX TV 360, these experts discuss how the COVID-19 pandemic is affecting the automotive aftermarket. Plus, we've got updates on Booth Camp, the space straw, and new policies and guidelines being implemented at AAPEX. Hi everyone, I'm Kimberly Bottom for AAPEX TV 360. A lot has changed since our last episode. First and foremost, we hope you're all safe and well. AAPEX is committed to bringing you information, resources, and support in this constantly evolving situation. So let's start with some updates. As of mid-May, AAPEX is still planning to be held in November in Las Vegas. We're staying on top of all state and federal mandates that could affect the show, and will provide timely updates as they happen. We hope you'll stay committed to AAPEX and that you're looking forward to our industry's homecoming. But we understand there is uncertainty, so AAPEX has extended the cancellation deadline with a full refund to September 1st. Hotel cancellations are also extended until later in September. And of course, our primary concern is providing a safe, healthy environment at the show. So we plan to follow guidelines that a professional trade show task force is putting together right now. You can see several of the world's leading trade show organizations are working to develop policies for sanitation and attendee interaction. We'll share those policies with you as soon as we get them. Another great resource is this exhibitor town hall discussion. I spoke with the Auto Care Association's Bill Hanvey and AASA's Paul McCarthy to address the most pressing exhibitor questions. You can watch the whole conversation on our website, which, by the way, has a revamped look. Just visit apexshow.com and you'll find the video front and center on the home page of the exhibitor section. Speaking of the associations that power AAPEX, today we're hearing from the experts who are helping raise a collective voice for the aftermarket. Joining us today is Ann Wilson with MEMA and Aaron Lowe with the Auto Care Association. Thank you both for being here today. And I would like to start with you, if you don't mind. So what has the government done in response to COVID-19 that is impacting the automotive aftermarket?
Well, Kimberly, it's great to be here today, so thanks for having me. They've done a couple of things. With all the legislation that's been passed, first they've passed two significant stimulus liquidity programs for suppliers. One is the PPP, which is for smaller suppliers, small businesses. And the second one is what's called the Main Street Lending Program. It's a broader program with a little bit more funding in it. That money hasn't been released yet as we're speaking, but we expect it to be released soon. Now, in addition, our members and the whole aftermarket have had problems of staying open. And Aaron, I know that you and I both worked on Mexico and some states on that. You might want to add some color to what's going on there.
Yeah, thanks, Ann. In fact, when we first started this crisis, the states all had going their own direction as far as whether they were allowing repair shops to stay open. For the most part, we worked with state and local officials to make sure that they could keep repair shops open, but also to keep the supply chain open. A big help was the Department of Homeland Security issued advisory recommendations early in this crisis that recommended that repair shops and the supply chain all the way up to the manufacturers were allowed to stay open. So I think that made a huge difference in allowing our industry to be considered essential and provide services both to consumers, but also emergency personnel who needed to keep their vehicles on the road.
Well, it sounds like a lot has been done, but I know that a lot has yet to come, and a lot of it is, we can't know the future. But in terms of what you guys are seeing, what should we expect to see in the days ahead? Aaron, can we start with you?
Well, right now, the big battle is legislation is being passed by the states that are regulating how places can reopen. And while shops were staying open as being essential during the crisis, they're changing the rules now. And so that is creating a lot more confusion in the industry. The other big issue is that there's a lot of legislation now on workers' compensation that would be saying that if you have COVID-19, it is assumed that you got it in the workplace and not at home. And so that assumption is going to change some liability from a workers' comp perspective.
For more information on these topics, just click the important AAPEX 2020 Update button on the homepage of apexshow.com. Now on to our AAPEX 2020 Spotlight, which features important show updates that you'll need to know for the upcoming year. First up, the Space Draw. Messages are going out now for those exhibiting in the Sands Expo, with the date and time that you'll be called to select your booth location. All booths should be assigned by mid-June. Next, an update on Exhibitor Booth Camp. It was set for June in Las Vegas and Chicago, but it will be rescheduled. You can expect an email update as soon as a new date is set. In the meantime, you can mark your calendars for our industry's homecoming in November. AAPEX runs November 3rd through the 5th at the Sands Expo in Las Vegas. If you're excited to see familiar faces at AAPEX, we want to hear from you. Just use the hashtag AAPEX20 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thanks for watching this episode of AAPEX TV 360. We hope you stay safe and well until we see you next month. Take care.